Hello everybody, my name is X Factor and the dream is alive and well because we're about to do some flawless 76-0 gameplay with the Wombo Combo of the Star Wars Battlefront universe. This is the AT-AT Boba Fett combination. And most of you guys already know this. When you get to the AT-AT or AT-ST spawn, don't take damage. One thing you might not know is you can actually jump pack away and start cycling your hero, villain, or vehicle. And as long as you don't take damage, it'll more than likely pop when you're still in the air. If you take damage, it restarts the cycle basically, or if you die, you basically lose it. So whenever I play Walker Assault and I grab an AT-AT or AT-ST, obviously it's about finding those big rotations. Walker Assault has hard spawn points, and they rotate on a set timer. Remember, Walker Assault is a fixed linear game mode. It's on rails. It lasts the same amount of time every single round as long as it goes to the end of the uplinks, right? The third set. So here you see me trying to figure out where to put my orbital strikes, and I do not want to put them on spawn heads. Why is that? Because when you first spawn in this game, you have absolute Superman God mode, Batman mode. You take a sliver of damage. A smart rocket will not kill you to the face. An impact will not kill you to the face. You'll have massive health pool left, and that's fine. But as you see, I'm trying to line up the next one just a little bit, and I'm struggling here, but decided to get it out because the timer's off. One thing when in the AT-AT is every time you get a kill, you get an extra second in there. So here you see me out of the AT-AT pushing back up because we're still trying to protect this first set of uplinks and get them disarmed. And look at that. It's a gift from the heavens. Another AT-AT. So here you see me jump packing away. And again, you can start that while you're in the jump pack. You can be in the air. So I'm going to put this one on the uplink, and I'm waiting for these guys to cross the right side of the road. So I'm kind of making a couple picks on this left side because they push up. That's bad for us because we spawn to the right of my AT-AT, and we've got to rework that whole area. So if I can kill a bunch of guys, that really helps my team. So we got the right one down, we got the left one up. But remember those hard spawns? When this shifts, that right cavern that's right above the number 2 and 1, this is where they spawn at, around the corner, and they cross the road. And you can get massive kills with splash damage, which I did a little bit earlier. Whenever you see your AT-AT crosshair light up as a yellow or AT-ST, that's a hit marker in the Star Wars Battlefront, and here you see us cleaning up just a couple kills. And remember, you always have limitations of how far left or right you can look with your AT-ST. So if you're a villain and you have a hero on you, Luke's trying to chase you down, just bait them back to the AT-AT and make sure you pay attention to their possible field of view. Right down the middle. They can always look straight down and in front of them. If you run to the left, it might be too far left, and same thing with the right. And here's something that happens from time to time with the AT-ATs is the orbital strike bugs out. So what do you do when you can't move it? You simply have to drop it. Just start that timer over again, because if you don't, it's simply always going to be there. And I even get lucky enough that I pick up a couple kills. That's not where I wanted to place it. I want to place it on the back side. So when you're using the AT-AT, know when to splash against a wall. Remember, this does quite a bit of splash damage, so be very careful. When you see people running into little gullies and caverns, hit the back side of the wall. That's how you pick up a lot of these kills. It might not two-shot them, but usually on the third or fourth shot, they will die, and make sure to lead a little bit just in case you think they're running. Pay attention to blasters, which way they're coming from. Are they clumping up? Are they shooting past into the air? That'll give you kind of an indication of where some of the rebel scum are at. So get out of the AT-AT. We work a couple picks as a stormtrooper, and all of a sudden I'm gifted with a villain power-up. And how do you not roll Boba Fett? All the verticality of this map, all the different ways to break lock from honing rockets, and of course strafing air vehicles and potential nade spam. And that's the key to Boba Fett. Stay at a medium to long range and make sure you're supporting your teammates and not letting lanes collapse. And this is pretty much a no-no as long as you know what you're doing. If you're flying super high, that's when the honing rockets can lock and just destroy you from across the map. The second you hear that beeping, as long as you have some sort of verticality and know if and when you're being flanked, just let go of the right click. Fall back down to the ground and you're protected. Remember, the honing rocket or missile has a very, very, very low velocity, and it is not very bendable. So even if it gets close on you, if you jump or jump back forward, you should be okay. So the next thing you got to worry about is, of course, the nade spam, whether it's impacts, thermals, the dubstep. You don't want to get into those massive, massive choke points, but that's okay because you can hover above them and rain death from above, or you can go around them. Here you see me pushing the right flank because the last thing I want is these guys to push up on the uplinks or to get situated when the actual AT-ATs get exposed. And here's a nice little angle that you can shoot back into both tunnels. So again, the key is don't go inside with Boba Fett unless you know there's only a couple bad guys or you're saving the uplink, and be careful of those choke points. Stay close to cover, because if you do get flanked, you don't want to be exposed for very long, because if there are a couple smart rockets, honing missiles, you're going to have your health just obliterated because you have no defensive ability like Luke or Vader or Palpatine, where you can absorb shots or reflect shots and do damage to the enemy team, which is just awesome. So you got to be very crafty with Boba Fett. It's all about that survival, and getting too close is never a good idea. So here you're going to see us kind of drop back, finish that kill, get an eye on the next set of guys, miss the wrist rocket, and simply fall back. So this lane is completely pushed up. The question is, do you rotate over knowing that they still have both uplinks? It's kind of like Battlefield 4, and you're a tank. You're only as strong as the infantry around you. If you go out there by your own, taking out 5 or 10 guys, you might do that, but you're probably going to have 0 health left when you're done. And it's also about moments of opportunity. When you see when people are not paying attention to the backside as they just eat a nade and lose 20 plus health, can you make a couple picks? Can you get a quick little flank? And here's where you have to be careful. These guys are fresh spawns. As long as they're back there for more than 3 or 4 seconds, their health will act accordingly. If you catch them within the first second or 2 of them being fresh spawns, they have the Super Empire Human Health mode on, right? Where you're going to do a sliver of the potential damage. A wrist rocket might take them down 30 or 40%, and that's about it. And remember, if they do pop Leia when you are playing Boba Fett, the bodyguards that Leia will spawn that have the honing rocket or missile, then of course the smart rocket, have increased health. They will eat an entire wrist rocket and still have around 30 to 40 to 50% health. So it's going to take a couple bursts to get down with your primary. And if you're just using your primary, be very careful. Make sure you land the majority of your shots or you will overheat. And as you can see right there, the chat is just getting a little bit too salty, and it will just continue to pour in here. So here you see me, I'm going to rotate over just a little bit, playing mid, because the last thing I want is for these guys getting too close, allowing for them to dubstep or thermal implode or impact. Believe it or not, the dubstep really messes up an AT-AT. I think it gives you 80 or 90 points if you direct hit, which is a lot of damage, because you could fire on the AT-AT with your blaster for quite some time and only get 5 points. And there you hear in the background the old ion shock emote going off. So this is kind of like the natural head glitch. We've featured this before, and there's an invisible wall healer if you fly up too high a couple times, that you're able to play that. But be careful, they will start spawning behind you on that other ledge. So again, you have to watch who's squishy and who's not. If they've been back there 3 or 4 seconds, you really don't have to worry about them. But if they just spawned in, they're going to have the Empire Galactic God mode going on. And here's where they rotate that spawn. I'm in a lot of trouble. Just like tanking in Battlefield, you never want to split defenders in multiple directions. And that's what I just did. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this 76-0 Boba Fett AT-AT gameplay, playing some Walker Assault. Who's your guys' favorite hero and villain? As always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll see you guys soon. Wow. Wow. Sorry, I was concentrating there at the end.